Ladies and gents, welcome to a different video. There's no play and explains in here, no podcast with other people. This is simply a review of my 2024 results, and I'm going to ramble for hopefully no longer than about 20 to 25 minutes. Shout out to Mr. Cruiser. If you guys don't follow him on YouTube, go follow. I think his page is High ELO Poker. This video is inspired a little bit by him. He reviewed his 2024 results, as I think he does every year. And it was a really, really good video. I think highlighting, a lot of the struggles that a lot of us full-time poker players go through. And seeing as my 2024 involved me creating a YouTube channel and becoming a Run It Once coach and kind of putting myself out there into the poker world a little bit more. I thought this would also be a pretty good video for me to run to talk about my 2024 results, and as you can see by the graph here, where things went a little bit wrong for me this year and what I'm going to do in 2025 to change things and to do better. Now, to sum up the results, you can actually see that in terms of green line actual money, we lost. We started the year with more money than we finished the year with. In terms of our poker results, we lost $519 overall. Yes, we won like nearly 5k of EV winnings, but who gives a fuck about that? And this has been, in terms of playing, a really, really, really difficult year. I have made a lot of mistakes this year. I think I've learned an awful lot, and I'm going into 2025 with very much a renewed determination. And I'm going to make sure that this year goes differently in terms of the results, in terms of my volume, in terms of improving as a player, and all of these things. So I've got a little notepad up here where I typed in where did it all go wrong, and I'm going to talk about the things that I think I've made mistakes this year. And then I've also wrote down what have I learned, what am I going to do in 2025 to change things. And I think, where should we start? Where did it all go wrong? I think I'm going to put down, I changed too much. I'll put, I changed too much technically. It's a great place to start. This downswing here, to give you a bit of context, lasted 5 months, I think, at the start of the year. And what happened, I think if we break down the months of the year, as you can see here, what happened this year is PokerStars released their rake back changes at the start of 2024, and me and a lot of other mid-stakes sort of grinders decided, wow, look, 500 Zoom's winning more now, let's go and battle it out for 50% rate back, 60% rate back, and what have you. And that didn't go very well for me. I think it exposed areas in my game, especially my mental game, that caused me to, as I say, have, the month of February where I played 60k hands. And as you can see, in terms of the amount of hands, that's basically double what I played in any other month of this period. And because I was playing way, way, way more hours and playing in tougher games and so on, and things didn't go my way, I think a lot of my mental game leaks were exposed. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I was tilting off stacks left and right and just 5-bet jamming king 4 offsuit and stuff just for the sake of it, because it wasn't that. But I think there was a lot of mental game leaks that I had, and I still have ultimately, that caused me to react badly to this downswing that I ended up having. And I think there's two ways that you can approach a downswing. There's option A, where you go, this is bad, negative variance. This is a downswing. I know I'm a winner in the games. I just need to get my head down, grind myself out of it, and stay disciplined. Or you can go the other way and go, I'm not playing very well here. I must be doing something wrong. I need to change something to get myself out of this. And I don't think that's necessarily the right approach. And I think you can kind of see this in terms of the red line, right? If you look at my Instagram, when I made my Instagram account, I think the first graph I posted was a graph that was the majority of 2023. I don't think it was all of 2023. I think it was like 8 months of the year or something like that, which was a really sexy graph, to be honest. Like, I think it was like 4 big blinds of win rate, over 100, red line going up, blue line going up. Really, really nice graph. And I was doing a lot of things well in 2023. And you can kind of see here that my red line was really positive and, doing very, very well at the start of this year. And then you go through the downswing and then you start to question everything. And I changed a lot. I basically, rightly or wrongly, thought everyone's calling me down now. No one's folding to me ever. I need to change things. I need to stop bluffing so much. I need to stop stop being over aggressive in some spots. And I experimented a lot. I made a lot of changes in a very short period of time. And I think rather annoyingly as well, when I made the changes, the upswing started to come. You can kind of see this, look, red line going like this. I change here and then I start to win money, right, when the red line drops. Then we go for a little bit of a downswing, we change more things, and then we add the upswing, right, which is just pure blue line winnings where, look, I just ran really well during this period of time. And then following this, look, you can just see the red line just plummeting. And I think I got like a lot of like positive feedback in terms of the results, but that caused me to make negative changes to my game, ultimately. I think I was thinking about this the other day when I've been reviewing a few sessions I played and so on, and just kind of thinking in general. And I think I've changed too much this year as a result of the results not going my way. And I think I've moved away from a lot of the good things that I might have been doing previously. And I think ultimately, I put this down here, right, as the second point, my mental game leaks got exposed. I'll put an exclamation mark. I think, honestly, if I was to sum up the year in a sentence, it's that my mental game leaks got exposed. Because, yes, I changed too much technically, but also, in fact, let's put this down here. I changed too much technically, because this is kind of a summary of everything. I didn't prioritize playing. And shied away. Shied? Avoided negative emotions, we'll put it like that. So as you can see, the second point I'm going to make on this is I've only played 308,000 hands this year. I want to say that like 2024 for me was a really good year personally, because it was, like, regardless of these results. I got engaged. I went on like 6 or 7 holidays. I did a lot of social stuff. Played a lot of football, got myself a bit fitter. Started the coaching side of things, and that's grown really quickly, and I'm super happy with that over 2024. The only thing that, as I say, has been missing has been the poker results, but I haven't prioritized it, pure and simple. And I think that's ultimately just down to not enjoying it as much because I've been battered consistently for such a long period of time, and because I've been doing like a lot of soul searching, and I've lost a lot of confidence like in my own game. I think that's clear. for me to kind of see, and I think maybe for other people to see as well. When the results don't go your way, doubts start to creep in, and I think I've let them creep in ultimately. And I think the way in which I've reacted to that is I've not sat down and played, because it's difficult, right? You go for a downswing for an extended period of time. Sometimes it's easier not to play. Sometimes it's easier not to show up in the mornings or the afternoons or whenever you decide to play. Sometimes it's easier just to go, nah, I don't want to play today. And do you know what? Because you're your own boss, you don't have to. Nah, not going to do it today because I'm just going to get battered and lose 5 buy-ins in half an hour again. Or I'm not going to do it again today because I've got a couple of coaching sessions in a few hours. So not going to bother with that. Not going to play this weekend because the missus wants to go out and, we'll go for a few beers or something like that. I think I've made excuses for not playing. And I think ultimately it's to avoid the negative emotions. On the one hand, I've had a really, really good year because I've gone and done stuff that's made me really happy. But the poker hasn't made me happy. And therefore I've avoided that. And there's 2 ways I can react to this. There's way number 1, which is don't prioritize playing, right? Become a coach. Grow the coaching more. Play part-time. Play here and there just to keep yourself sharp, but focus on coaching people and improving everyone else. And then have your weekends free. Have your evenings free. Travel. Do all of these things. And that would be fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There really, really isn't. If I want to take that approach, I would not feel guilty about it. But I don't think it aligns with my goals. My goal in poker is to be a poker player first and to go as high as I possibly can. And the issue is I've not acted like it this year. If I stayed true to that kind of goal, I wouldn't have played 308,000 hands. I wouldn't have prioritized coaching as much as I have done. I wouldn't have missed volume by not playing evenings or not playing weekends. I would have sat down and I would have fucking played a lot more. So I think there's this misalignment in my goals, and as I say, this video is me like having a little bit of an honest conversation with myself to try and figure that out. But take this month of December, which you can see down here is 8.1k hands, right? There's been Christmas, of course, and I've started a boot camp, which started on the 9th of December. So I've only played 8,000 hands, and it's not just because I've been sat at home eating crisps and watching Netflix. I've been doing 10-hour days of just recording content, doing hand history review videos for the Discord group, doing infinite one-to-one coaching sessions, group coaching sessions, all of these things that I've been doing, organizing everything, doing all of the admin because it's just me. I don't have anyone else doing this for me, alongside social commitments and all this stuff. So I haven't had time to play. And in truth, that's made me quite moody. Because I haven't been satisfying that competitive element of me. That's why I play this game. It's to be competitive. I'm the guy who can, sometimes be quite annoying, I guess, in if we go to a bar, if you gave me a choice, right, of going to do something in the evening, let's say you meet up with your friends, I'm the guy that wants to go play fucking table tennis or pool or whatever. I want to make everything into a game. So if you give me a night where we're getting all the mates together, it's going to revolve around something competitive. That's just who I am, and that's what gets me going. So not having that element satisfied with poker by only playing 8,000 hands has actually, as I say, not made me particularly happy. And as I say, I need to change that. So I think I need to change my priorities for 2025. So here we go. Look, we can write this down. Change priorities. Poker player first. Coach coach second, we'll say. I think I need to be, if I want to go and play high stakes, right? If I want to, when they do these coin poker games again, whenever they decide to do them, Or if they just continuously run, I don't know. But like, I love the idea of that. I want to go and challenge myself against the best. I want to be the best that I can possibly be. I need to start acting like it in 2025. Or I need to have the honest conversation and just go, yeah, let's ride that off and let's just be a coach. But I don't think that's what makes me happy. And a lot of people will sit here and look at these results as well and they'll go, Simon, why don't you just go play live? Why don't you just go to America for a few months this year and just go win infinite money playing live? Because you can. And I'd print money over there. Why don't you go and do that? It's because I don't want to. It's because that's not where I see myself. Like, I could go to America and print money, for 6 months of this year and just play infinite live. But it's not what satisfies, again, that competitive element of me. It's just kind of turning up to clocking in for your job in a lot of ways. Why don't you go play live at the Hippo or the Vic? And it's kind of the same reason. And I don't want to be on that sort of, rotten nighttime schedule. And it doesn't, again, it's I don't want to say it's too easy, because that's, I think, a little bit false and also a little bit sort of egotistical, but it doesn't satisfy that kind of competitive edge. I want to be an online guy, but I think to be an online guy, I need to play more weekends. I need to play more evenings. I need to play when everyone else is playing, and I need to play longer. And yeah, I haven't been doing that in 2024, and that's ultimately the biggest thing I need to change, or one of the biggest things I need to change. But I think secondly, what I also need to do is improve on my mental game. I need to be more understanding, I think, of basically what I think is happening, or what I think's happened for a lot of this last year, is there's been, and I can see it, there's a big disconnect between what I know when I'm outside of game and what I'm teaching people and what I can execute in game. I think there's a disconnect. I have done, as I say, endless coaching sessions one-to-one with people, and I think I can pretty confidently explain a lot of concepts and help other guys improve. But sometimes I think when I'm playing, I get the brain fog just descends sometimes, and I sit there and I wonder, how did I get here? Or you prioritize the wrong things when you're making a decision. It's hard to have that clear mind, because emotions are kicking in. You're not thinking clearly or rationally, and you're making mistakes that you wouldn't necessarily make if I was just sat here analyzing it. So I think improve in-game mentality / decision making is something I need to do. That's honestly probably a case of getting some outside help, getting someone who's really good with mental game and just letting them give me the once over. But mental game is everything in this game. You can be the best technical player in the world, but if you're not very good mentally, and you're not going to concede. Excuse me, you're not going to succeed. And when you go through a year, as I say, I have, mental game leaks are going to be exposed, and they have been. And as I say, I think it's come out in this sort of avoidance of the negative emotions, which I think is something I do anyway in day-to-day life, let alone in poker. But it's something I need to improve on. I need to power through. I need to be better. So schedule better, push through a little bit more, and as I say, align myself with my goals better. What else? I think table selection has been a problem this year. I think it's worth mentioning. It's probably the last thing I'll mention because I'm nearly at 20 minutes now. I'm always conflicted with table selection because you can just, as I say, you can just play good games. You can just play in games with fish. And like I say, I could go to America and I could just be in good games all day long. And that would be the best way to table select. But as I say, it's not satisfying that competitive edge within me. But there needs to be a happy medium. I need to make sure that I'm playing in better games. And this, as I say, table selection, time selection, maybe playing too many tables at certain periods of the year, which is definitely true. Avoiding Zoom and so on, which I think, as I say, I've improved on my table selection definitely over the course of the year. The first half of the year, there wasn't any of it. I'd just play in every game and just battle it out and just be like, I'm going to prove that I'm better than everyone. And that didn't work, obviously. But also, I think, especially in the last few months, I've gone the other way and I've only played on good tables. And again, I don't think it causes me to play less. I think it's one of the things that causes me to play less because I'm just like, well, yeah, the money's going to come either way, or to battle less with the regs and to give up on edges because I'm like, well, the fisher's money is there. I'm going to take that anyway. So why do I need to take this small edge? Why do I even need to look for this small edge? So I think that's a factor as well. Going into this next year, I think time selection is a big one. As I say, I want to change the times that I play. I've been a big guy for like a lot of this year of, as I say, I'm going to play when I feel good. And I feel good in the morning, so I'm only going to play in the mornings. But I think, as I say, this is a mistake. I think I've strived so hard to just play A game all the time that I've neglected my B and C game. And sometimes the best players, they just play B and C game more often than they do their A game. But their B and C game's really fucking good. I'm not sure mine is. That month of February, I think I was definitely playing B and C game more often than not. And I got spanked. Whether, again, we can sit here and blame variance all we want and things like that, but I don't want to do that in this video. Variance is always there. It always exists. It's there in this graph, but if I posted a 6 big blind, upward, lovely graph as well, it would be there too. You always have to acknowledge it. So it's there. It will impact things, absolutely, but it's more your reaction to the variance than it is the variance itself, I think, a lot of the time. And as I say, I think that's the main sort of takeaway from this video or these results of mine for this year. It's my reaction to the variance has been poor more than it is the variance itself. So I have a lot to work on. I think I'll ram this video off as well, which I think I did a little stream a couple of days ago where I think I talked about this, but like, I do want to kind of finish up by saying this, like, this is not an easy video for me to post, because I understand where I am in like the poker ecosystem, and I understand that I offer one-to-one coaching. I'm a run it once coach. I charge people, I'm not charging people 10 quid an hour for my coaching. I'm charging people a lot of money to be coached by me. And therefore there is this pressure to have good results. And I can't show them because I haven't had good results this year. And it would be very easy for me not to post my results this year and avoid the negative comments that inevitably are going to come. Like, why would you pay this guy for coaching? He can't beat the games, right? And that's not what this year is. Ultimately, I will say this much. It's not that I can't beat the games at all. It's just, I haven't beaten the games this year, but I'm pretty confident you could throw me into a 500-0 reg table and I'm going to have a win rate. I've proven it over a long period of time. 300,000 hands ultimately is not the largest amount of hands in the world. Again, the variance is there. The variance exists. This year could have gone differently and I could have, shown a pretty nice winning graph, right? And it all would be within what my win rate is. Is my win rate 6 big blinds over 100? No, not even close, right? I think my win rate over the past, 2.5 years, I think, is, with these results included, I think is like 2 big blinds. I think at a push. With this year included. So look, I'm not crushing the games as it stands, and I need to work on this. I need to go into the lab and I need to become better. That's what this video is about. But I also understand that, look, I offer one-to-one coaching. So it is difficult for me to post this. And I can understand some people's comments if they were to say oh, why would I get coaching from you? And I can't even argue with that. You don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. But I would rather post these results and then give my goals for the year and then show you what happens afterwards than hide it and just avoid not posting the results and just be one of those guys that, offers coaching without ever, showing recent results or whatever it may be. As I say, when, on the other side of things, the social media aspect of the world, where people only post good results and people only post when they're doing well, I kind of want to buck that trend a little bit. That's why I loved Cruz's video. I think Alan Finn posted a video where he did something similar back in May when he was going through a downswing. I think Ben a Bad Beat's been very, very open with his results all year. The poker world needs more of that. To show you the realities of not everyone's printing money, not just showing you the top 10% of people, showing you everyone. Because as I say, I will sit here and, as I just said, I'm not a 6 big blind winner. That's what I want to be. And I don't doubt that you can be. I have no doubts about that whatsoever. The poker, it's difficult to be a full-time poker player, absolutely, but it's not impossible. And there is a lot of money to be made, irrelevant of this graph. So, you can look at it on the one hand and go, well, this guy, knows what he's talking about, or doesn't, and can't even have a winning year, and go, poker's dead, online, go play something else. Or you can look at it and go, this guy's just displaying the realities of it. Even good players have break-even years. So take it how you want to take it ultimately. But this is the reality. This is what my results are for the year. I have a lot to work on. I think I'm going to get some one-to-one coaching. So rounding this off, any of you guys who play 1K, 2K, 5K, that might stumble onto this video and think you could help me out, feel free, get in my DMs and we'll talk. I think mental game coaching definitely is something I'm going to need to look at. But I think I'm on the right lines, ultimately. I think I've got a good idea of what went wrong over the course of this year, and I've got a good idea of what I need to do to fix it. And I don't even think it's too much technically. It's not just get better at the game, it's get better outside of the game that I think will really have the biggest impact. And go back to some of the things that I was doing, previously, rather than just being the guy that has this horrible tanking red line. Go back to being the guy that maybe doesn't have the horrible tanking red line in some respects. I can say that, maybe maybe I'm just advertising that I'm going to start bluffing more. So now no one folds to me, but, whatever. Maybe I'll just have it a little bit more and then that'll be the way to win more money. Who knows? Mind games, right? But yeah, we'll GG it there because that's 28 minutes of video. I hope you enjoyed this ramble. I hope it was beneficial. It was definitely beneficial to me. I mean, this is why I do YouTube at the end of the day. It's for me more than it is for you in a lot of respects. I make the stuff that I want to make and I make the stuff that I want to record. And if you guys enjoy it, great. If you don't, you don't. It doesn't really matter to me. Obviously, I prefer everyone to enjoy it, and I think they have. But I would rather make the videos I want to make than pander to anything else. But I'm just rambling now, aren't I? But yeah, I hope you do enjoy the video. Leave me some comments and feedback below. If you have any criticism, keep it constructive. Otherwise, I'll, probably just get at you in the comments if you're just being a dick. But constructive criticism where you think I can improve, based on the live play and explains that you've watched or whatever it might be. But as I say, I hope I've achieved what I wanted to achieve in this in terms of, showing the realities of what a poker player can be like, the mistakes that I've made and what I'm trying to change in 2025. So I'm going into this, as I say, with a bit of a bruised ego, but I've got a lot of belief in myself. I've got a lot of confidence to propel me into the new year, and to, I believe that 2025, when I sit here on the 2nd of January 2026 and review 2025, I think I'm gonna be pretty happy. So there we go. Right, GG guys. Have fun. See you on the next video.